Hello and welcome to Ladies Talking Business. I'm your host, Moremi Akano. Today we will be discussing the topic, how do I combine a career with business? With our guest. She is a recruitment consultant and the founder of Empower You Career Consulting, an emerging enterprise that trains and equips individuals with employability skills and tools for the workplace. She currently serves as the East and West Africa Marketing Manager for Sensodyne at GlaxoSmithKline Consumer Healthcare. She was recently named a top 10 career influencer in Africa by the Career Influencer Awards for her efforts in training and developing thousands of professionals across Africa. She is Fiyin Toyo. Thank you, Fiyin, for joining us on the show today.
Thank you so much, Moremi.
Okay, so going straight into it, what are the things to consider before starting a business?
So starting a business is like a Nigerian dream. Everybody wants to own a business, but I usually say there are a couple of things that you need to look at. So look at you, look at the market, look at the business, look at the money, right? So the first thing is, what am I passionate about? Or what is it that you're passionate about and what are you good at? So you cannot just start a business because you think it's going to make you money. You need to be invested and involved. The second thing is the market. So one thing I advise people is that look at the markets that you currently live in, for example, Nigeria. What are the needs in the market? So where are the white spots? So deliver on something that's going to address needs within the market. And then, of course, the money. So a lot of Nigerians don't do a business plan until it's time to submit for a grant or a loan.
That happens a lot.
I'm telling you. So
happens a lot.
Create a business plan even before you start the business. You know, understand the money side of it. What is the capital investment I need to make? And what will my operating expenditure be, you know, every month? So just understand, like I said, the you, the business, the market, and then the people. Who am I going to need to support me in this business? And I think once you tick all of those boxes, feel free to jump
Start
on.
your business.
Exactly.
Okay, so would you say starting a business is a career? So yeah, so if I'm starting a business, can I say, well, I'm in a career, I have a career?
Okay, so, well, a career is literally defined as, you know, what your profession is. So what you spend most of your life doing. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur or a businessman or woman, you could, you know, define that as your career. Yeah, in a way.
Okay, all right. So let's say I am into buying and selling. What career is that?
So you can call it procurement, right? You can call it, or you can refer to it as, you know, purchasing and reselling, or just profit making. So people have different innuendos and different names for these sort of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how easy is it to work in the corporate world, or 9 to 5 like we call it, and also run a business in Nigeria? I mean, from your experience working with people like that so far, how easy is it?
So I think there are different levels of business. You know, there's the business of, oh, I'm selling clothes out of my boots. You know, it's a little bit easier to combine. So there are different types of business. In Nigeria, most 9-to-5ers have one side hustle or the other. Some people sell credit, some people sell clothes. So I think that it depends on the scale of your business. So if it's something that is not too difficult to combine with your 9-to-5, it's usually easy. But when you talk about, some people own farms. I know a couple of people that have fish farms and they need to be involved. Some people sell property. Some people own consulting businesses. So it depends on the amount of time that your business requires of you. And then once it gets to that sort of business that requires a lot of your time, it's not as easy. It means that you're going to have late nights. It means that you're going to have to take your leave. Like I used to use my leave for holidays, you know, traveling with family. Some of your leave you will have to use towards working on your business.
But what's the best way to go about it without eating into your employer's time?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is priority. So if you know you're going to combine the two, understand that your 9-to-5 is for, you know, your employer. And then after hours is when you would have the time to focus on your business.
But when is after hours? Because most times you don't really have after hours. It's so-called 9-to-5 is not exactly 9-to-5. And it's not, in fact, it's more like 6 a.m. or 5:30 to about 10 p.m. So how?
I usually say it's from when I wake up to when I sleep.
When I sleep. Yeah, so how are you going to be able to balance having your business with that?
So I'm going to be very honest. When I first started my business in the early stages, I used to go to bed around 4 a.m. sometimes,
Wow.
right? And it wasn't just me. Even some of my team members in my business, we would be having conference meetings till 3 a.m. because I was literally, working a very time-consuming 9 to 5 and then combining it with my work. So there will be that time when after hours means going past midnight, burning the midnight candle. It will mean Saturdays and Sundays. You will just have to fit the time in. As an example, I love watching TV shows. That's my way to relax. Like, I had a whole timetable, calendar. When I started my business, all of that had to go. Like, I catch TV when I can, So there will be sacrifices made in terms of some of the things you enjoy doing. I mean, we can always find time. That's what I tell people. Squeeze time. I don't go to salon to do my hair anymore. Someone comes to my house to do it while I'm working, while I'm multitasking. Some of those little things, the time that I used to spend watching TV shows, it has cut down. I can't even lie.
Yeah.
And some of those events that you used to go for, maybe drinks with the girls twice a week, you may have to cut that down to once a fortnight.
So it's all about priority now.
Absolutely.
So what structures should such businesses have in place such that while the employer is running a 9 to 5 and the business is still sustainable?
People that start businesses while they're employed, they're usually afraid to hire someone. And, I have a business coach, and one of the things she told me was that hire fast. Don't be afraid to hire. And I was like, how can I be paying someone salary when me too?
I'm earning salary. That's not enough for me.
How do I do this? But it was literally the best decision I made, right? The costs will pile up. But the thing is, think about those people you hire into your business, the headcount, as people that are going to generate more revenue for you and give you back your time so you can rest. For me, I think one thing is hiring people, putting those structures in place. And then another thing, technology. We have been blessed by technology. There's so many things you can do to automate your business. So for example, we used to confirm alerts manually. I remember the first time, I did a major sale and we had like over 100 alerts in space of 2 minutes. So confirming those things manually took a lot of time. But now there are a lot of payment platforms that you can integrate into your website so you don't have to do that. So look at technology, look at people, right? And also look at workflow. So one thing that I'll advise, which we recently did in our business, was process engineering. So what we did was every single process in the business that Fiyin is involved in, please say it now. And let's take Fiyin out of it and let's
put someone else.
Exactly, that can do that. And so we have a process flow of how, something starts at A, ends in Z, and Fiyin is not involved in that. It will take time to get there, but I think that's what, we need to do. Even if you're running a full-time business and you are going to be the MD or the GM, you still need to be able to do that.
So where does Fiyin now come in? Once you've taken her out of these processes, where does she come in and when does she come in?
Fantastic question. So the nature of my business is one that means that I'm highly involved because I'm coaching people, right? I'm teaching. So right now my focus is on teaching. So it means that before, when I used to spend 20 hours working on emails and all of that, I don't have to do that anymore. So I literally show up to teach, to coach, and to provide strategy and leadership. And then, of course, we have our weekly meetings, which we check in.
You have to oversee as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I have really prioritized and streamlined it to the core, which is the teaching and strategy.
Awesome, awesome. We'll go on a short break and be back for more conversations with our guest after the break. You're still watching Ladies Talking Business, and our guest is Fiyin Toyo, the founder of Empower You. So Fiyin, in a situation where one decides to quit their 9 to 5 job to maybe focus on the business they've started, what are the things you would advise the person should put in place before just quitting what is paying you?
People ask me this question a lot. And I mean, there's no rule to life. But for me, these are the things that I will advise everybody to look at. Number one is emergency funds. So you need to have garnered.
That's critical.
It's critical. It is necessary. You need to have emergency funds. So look at the next 6 months, right? What do I need to actually live? So from your 9 to 5, you need to have gathered that, rainy day fund. The second thing, for me, this is very, very critical. Your business should start paying your salary.
Before you quit your
Before you quit your 9 to 5.
9 to 5. Oh,
Now,
wow.
a lot of people don't understand this, and this is a challenge with running a business, and that's why they say lots of businesses fail before the 5-year mark. A lot of people spend funds from their business, like, oh, they want to buy credit, they want to go to a restaurant. No. So you need to separate your business expenses from your personal expenses. Don't put your personal expenses on the business. Let the business now pay you a salary. Whatever your salary is, your business should start paying you that. And I'll also advise that your business also pays for your HMO, the Health Maintenance Organization.
That means the business should be really, really kicking before you.
I mean, you can find HMO plans for as little as 20,000 a year.
Okay.
Right? Just so that if you have, unfortunately, people get ill. If you have malaria or typhoid, you don't have to start forking out of your pocket to take care of yourself. So those are the critical things that I'll say very, very important before you make that plunge.
Okay. So as a recruitment consultant, I'm sure people have come to meet you that, you know what, I'm not doing business again. I want to go back into the corporate world. Why do you think that happens?
Honestly, Moremi, I see that a lot. Like almost 20% of our audience comes from people saying, I've been doing business for 5 years, it did not work out, I want to come back. I think it's for those reasons that I mentioned. Number one, a lot of people don't even understand business. I'm grateful because of my 9 to 5 has taught me how to manage multi-million-pound brands. So I understand how to manage budgets. So a lot of people do that thing of, they don't separate revenue from profit. So they see money coming in and they believe that all the money in the account is up for grabs, is, ready to spend. But they don't separate it. Pay yourself a salary. So I think that's the first thing, is that people have made the mistakes in terms of maintaining good financial records. The second thing is that some people started businesses just because maybe they didn't have a job, they didn't really have a passion for it, they didn't have a business plan. So there was no long-term scalability plan. And then I'll say another thing is that some people are just not cut out for business. I've met a lot of people say, you know what, this business thing is not for me. Let me just earn salary and sit down. So for me, I think the major issue is that people find that I've been running a business, but I don't have anything to show for it.
But don't you also think that the economy has its own part to play? I mean, it's not easy. Would you say it's easy doing business in Nigeria?
It's not easy. I mean, I see people with electricity bills of 600,000.
And what are they selling? Or what are they doing?
What? Do you own a factory? I mean, definitely, I think that we're in a very, like we say, a very VUCA environment where things are volatile, uncertain, etc. And so it makes it quite difficult for entrepreneurs. But I also think that when I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs and I say, okay, what was your business plan? What was your revenue last year? Out of that, what was your gross margin? A lot of people don't even know. They'll be looking at you and I'm like, dude, that is why your business did not really work out, because you did not really put a lot of effort into understanding right? What is my gross profit versus net profit? And then reinvesting in the business. People just see 1 million in their account and they will,
yeah, we've made money.
They pay school fees, go on holiday. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, we've made money.
Okay, so in the situation that we've just talked about, where you want to transition, what would be the first major step to transition into the corporate world from running your business?
First thing, don't make the same mistake again. So be very clear, crystal clear. I always say clarity is key. What do you want to do? Because I hear this, I want to go back into the workforce. And I say, okay, what do you want to do? And they will say, anything, any job. No, it doesn't work that way. So the first thing is, okay, understand what is the line. Yeah, what line do I want to go into? Then the second thing is, lots of people say, but I've been away for 5 years. Because the first thing, when you're looking for a job is typically the CV or LinkedIn. So I usually advise people is that, that 5 years that you're in your business, what was the core of your business? As a business owner, you function as a finance manager, your marketing manager, you are procurement, customer service, you're doing everything. So look at that part that, correlates with the career that you now want to build. So for example, let's say you were doing a lot of finances, even if you're a makeup artist, you were doing a lot of financings, right? Coming up with the price, procuring makeup products, adding your margin. So you can then you can list yourself on your CV as, for example, the finance manager at Fiyin Toyo Makeovers, right? And talk about all of the financial bits that you did. So that helps, beef your CV and your LinkedIn up to be able to match some of the vacancies. And then network. So speak to people in the field, go for networking events, both virtual and physical if you can. I know we're in a new world, right? So once you start networking, putting your CV, your LinkedIn out there, hopefully opportunities will come. But the last thing is be ready to volunteer. So there are a lot of opportunities.
Volunteer, intern and all that.
Yes, exactly. Just to get back. They always say that getting a job is a job. And it's always easier to get a job once you have a job. because lots of people don't want to hire someone that's not in the workforce. So that first job may need to be a voluntary role before you then transition into something much more full-time and profitable.
I've never seen it like that. But like, especially that procurement bit where you're the one buying this, you can always put as a procurement manager or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks, Fiyin, for that.
You're welcome.
Okay. We'll be back for more conversations of this type with our guest, Fiyin, right after the break. Thanks for staying with us. Our guest is still a recruitment consultant and the founder of Empower You, Fiyin Toyo. So Fiyin, let's go to Empower You now. Why did you start Empower You? I can see that you're happy that we're about to talk about Empower You. So why did you start?
So it's a long story, but let me keep it short. I worked in the recruitment industry as a database administrator. So from my experience there, I learned the sort of CVs I get through, the ones I don't get through, etc. So what I noticed when I moved to Lagos in 2012 was a lot of people will say things like, oh, I've been looking for a job for 6 months, for 1 year, I haven't found one. And I'm like, okay, no problem, just send me your CV and I'll see if something comes up. And then when they send the CV,
oh my God,
I'm like, what is this? This is why you don't have a job. And these are people that say, Nigeria is wicked, employers are wicked. And I'm like, guys, and I wouldn't even revamp the CV for them. I'll just tell them, change this, move this, do that. And lots of people were getting jobs within, a short period of time. And I'm like, it's not magic.
Oh, wow.
So from there, people were referring their friends, their family. Fiyin can give you advice on your CV. She can help you do this, do that. So I started Empower You, almost as a free community, just helping people with their CVs, LinkedIn, etc. And then it then transitioned into a proper business where, we have the arm where we help people with their CVs, LinkedIn cover letters. So like, do it for you. Okay. And then we also
for a fee.
Exactly, for a fee. And then we have an arm where we train people absolutely free. So they come for our training sessions about, LinkedIn, how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, how to network effectively. So free training. So we have that. And then we have a next level where people say, you know what, I want to learn much more about how to, build my personal brand. And we charge for that. So people pay for those sort of services. So there's some people that say, look, I don't have time. I don't want to learn anything. Just do it for me. Help me. And some people are like, no, this is my career. I want to manage my career. Teach me how to do that. So that's the reason why we started, was just to help with the unemployment gap. Because I know we say that, there aren't enough jobs in Nigeria, but there are a lot of vacancies that don't get filled because they don't get the right candidates. And I know the right candidates is out there, but that person may just not know how to position themselves appropriately to get the job. And that's where we come in.
Great. I see a lot of Empower You on social media, a lot. So what would you attribute your success to?
So I won't say we're quite there yet, but a couple of things have, helped us. Number one, of course, is the God factor, time and chance, a supportive family. So my husband, parents, siblings, etc. And then the people. I've managed people. I've been working since 2007, sorry. And I've never managed a team like the team at Empower You. These are people that they take the business as if it was their own. I have team members that send me stuff at 3 a.m. saying we need to do this. So we constantly brainstorm. We have our weekly meetings. We're constantly brainstorming what we can do to improve the business, literally. And then I'll say coaching as well. So very important. If you want to start a business, it's always good to see and meet people that have done it successfully before you. So I have an amazing coach or an amazing set of coaches that have taught me what I need to do. And I'll also say the nature of the business itself, in that we are providing a need-based service, right? So Nigerians need
extremely needy.
I'm telling you, Nigerians need this. So some of my team members say, the CV I got today, man, you need to see it too. Nigerians need this. And then the last thing I'll say is we do a lot of free things. So we've trained almost 20,000 people for free.
Free?
Yes.
Do you teach them how to work on their CVs?
We do. We teach them how. In fact, we get testimonials of people saying, thank you so much, that free training I did, I worked on my CV and I got a job. I can't believe it's that easy. So I think that is a big secret for us, is that we do a lot of things for free. Most of what we do is for free, because it means that, when people don't pay, they get a great experience still, and they can refer you to somebody that is going to pay. Yeah.
But it's amazing how you've turned the passion to profit. I don't know how much profit it is you make compared to the good you're doing, but there's also that profit bit in it from just, building a passion. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, to be fair, out of the thousands of people that we've trained, probably only 5% will typically pay for a service. Yeah. but it still makes us money for us to keep the lights on, you know, pay the team, pay for our systems, etc.
Get internet connection.
Yeah,
and the rest.
exactly.
Okay, so what makes Empower You unique?
What makes us unique? So, you know, it's so interesting. I was talking to one of my teammates, Ife, and she was like, well, a lot of, you know, career consulting companies are male-led. So, and that's something that's quite interesting. When you look at recruitment companies or career coaching, a lot of the people are male. It's a male-dominated industry, I'll say. So, number one is, you know, female-led organization, but also the fact that it's not just about the money it's not even about the money for us, right? I know a lot of my community members, like they're shocked when they send emails and I'm like, Okibe, like I know their names, right? And then we also function as a community. So we have a Telegram group, we have events, we have, you know, it's a virtual-based business, you know, mostly, but we've had events. For example, in December 2020, we all had a career workshop where we were together for 2 days. You know, in February 2020, we met up in GRA, you know, we had a networking event. So a lot of people within the community know each other. So it's not like you pay a transaction fee for the course and you go. My team and I know you, and then even the members know each other. So there's a networking thing. In fact, we even have monthly events, mentorship circle sessions with me where we just discuss our problems. Sometimes we just moan and say, this is what's happening at work, and then I advise people. So we have that continuous improvement. Even though you paid for something, we will invite you to these are continuous improvement events, right? Which is really, really critical, is because some people just want that hand holding. Yes. They just want to, you know, feel among, be part of the community and just continue. So I think community-based is something that makes us really unique. Yeah.
So what's the future for Empower You?
So
you always get so excited when I mention Empower You.
Empower You, man. So I think the future is, we've done almost 20K. Let's go into hundreds of thousands. Let's look at Africa. So I have a few people from Mozambique, from Ghana, Kenya that have come to our sessions, but we want to, you know, fully expand and explode into the rest of, you know, Anglophone speaking Africa. So I think that's big for us, is just doing that and partnering with brands. So last year, even this year, we've partnered with a few brands, but seeing how we can partner with brands to make this more accessible for people, because some people will never be able to pay for the service. So just penetrating more, just driving better reach and distribution so we can do good.
Well, when you talk about reaching Africa, it's going to be a bit easier now because of technology. Yeah. So they don't even have to come to Nigeria. Absolutely. You don't always have to go to them. They just connect and it's done. Yeah. I must also commend you for your role at Sensodyne.
Now you're making me blush.
It is a big role. It's a huge role. How did you, very quickly, how did you get that role? Well, how did you place yourself? Because with all this experience that you have, I'm sure you would have placed yourself in some kind of places that brought that role.
You know what? It's so interesting. I got my first multinational job through LinkedIn, right? So that puts me on the map, right? It was at Guinness. So, you know, then it's quite interesting that I was planning a baby shower for someone, and there I met someone that worked at GSK. I said, we have a vacancy at GSK. And I was like, okay, I'll send my CV. Let's see what happens. Of course, I packaged that CV.
I trust you.
Hey, if you see all the things that I put there, you will not know that it's me. And then they looked at my CV. They were like, interesting, come for an assessment. So they gave me a really difficult assessment, which I did. I came to present it to the team. They thought it was good. And then I came in for a final interview with the MD and HR director. And that's how I got the job. Yeah.
Wow. So you just have to, set yourself up. But you just said that it happened when you were planning something. So basically your network, which is one of the things I would also commend about Empower You, saying that you have a community. So it's not just people paying for services or something, but there's a community where you can come to know one another.
Exactly, absolutely. And, beyond that, it's also helping people. I find that some of the biggest things that happened to me, and even people that I knew, it was in the line of service. So helping someone. I didn't want to plan that baby shower. I was so tired. I was overworked. But I was like, you know what? I need to do this for this person, because this person was a dear friend. And that's how I met someone else.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Fiyin. I had so much fun with you. You're just making me giggle all through. Well, we wish you all the very best at Empower You.
Thank you.
Thanks for staying with us on this episode of Ladies Talking Business, and we hope you have learned a thing or two about combining a career and a business. Don't forget to tune in next week for another episode. I'm Moremi Akano. Bye for now.